That looked tasty for him for a while. All right, speaking of tasty, the playoff debut of Victor Wembanyama. We think this will be the first of many. Second-seeded Spurs hosting the Blazers came out in the all-blacks, courtesy of Kelly Olynyk. Little gift to get the full season started for San Antonio. And how about them starting with defense? Get the stop at one end, and then Wemby. Whoa. Come on.
Crazy.
That spin. You got the two greats in there, David Robinson, Tim Duncan checking it out, and neither one of them could do that. Wemby from Dylan Harper off the alley-oop. And just like that, the Spurs are up 9. In the second, Denny Avdia, little floater. He had 30 points. Blazers were down just 7 after the made free throw, but then Wemby dribbles into a corner three. 21 points in the first half. That's the most in a player's first career playoff game in a half in the play-by-play era, which goes back to the 1997-98 year. So they were up 10 at the break. Third quarter, Stefan Castle to Luke Cornett. Teamwork makes the dream work. San Antonio starting to pull away. Julian Champagnie, that's a wide open three. And then all of a sudden, it's a 15-point lead going into the fourth quarter. And then when you got to the fourth quarter, you had Wemby. And he was doing all the things as usual. In traffic, getting fouled, didn't matter. Makes that one. And then from distance, it's just unfair at times to see what this dude can do, and considering how young he is, just his third year in the league, his first playoff appearance, and the Blazers could do nothing. 35 points. Spurs win at 111-98. They take game one, and Wemby gave a lot of credit to the fans and the atmosphere there in San Antonio.
It's great to see this many people wear their shirts. I love the animation when they say wear your shirt. You should absolutely wear your shirt if you're coming to the game. It is honestly different. The first time I stepped on the court, even for warm-ups, I felt the atmosphere was different. Everybody's ready. I mean, the fans were ready. It's probably the most excited I've seen this arena.
I mean, considering what he's already done in his young career and even this season, there's no reason to think he would not have balled out in his first playoff game. But check this out. He's the first player in NBA history with 35 points and 5 threes in a postseason debut. His 35 points, by the way, the most by a Spurs in their debut, passing Tim Duncan back in 1998. All right, Perk, or as some people like to call him, the percolator. Playoff Wemby. He has now arrived. The anticipation was there, and he more than exceeded what we would expect him to do based on what he's already shown us.
Eves, you know our first time working together, I still use your term, what you use, as expected. As expected. This is what we expected out of Victor Wembanyama tonight, and he's never going to disappoint. Look, the 35 points, that's cool, but it's the leadership for me, right? It's the dominance. It's his approach. It's more to this than just this game one performance. This was a statement to the rest of the league to show you that I'm here. I hear all the chatter about the inexperience or the lack of experience, but we're ready for this moment. And when you think about Wemby, the growth of this season is he found that balance of being a big man with guard skills. Right? At first, he was battling if he wanted to be a guard and then take it down low. No, I'm going to dominate first down low offensively, and then I'm going to show you I got range on this three-point shot. And this is why I picked the San Antonio Spurs to win it all this year, is because the growth of him and his maturity.
That would be ahead of schedule.
Yeah,
but
that would be.
Right. You could see that team winning it all, that's for sure. All right, let's swing it east. Another game one, Magic and Pistons. Detroit's first time as the 1 seed in 19 years. But it would not go well for the Pistons. Perk, Paolo Banchero playing really well right now.
He did, and I actually called them out to play better. Even when they lost the play-in game against the 76ers, and he has responded in the playoff game against the Hornets and tonight. The physicality. This series is going to be a brawl for it all. Two well-coached teams that head coaches preach physicality.
Cade Cunningham, he was really the guy who carried the Pistons.
The only guy.
Down. Banchero, tough shot. He had 23. Magic up by 4 at that point. Next possession down. Wendell Carter Jr. muscling up inside. The Magic up by 7 after 3. The Pistons made some runs at him, never could get there. Cunningham trying. He had 39, the most in the opening game of the playoff series in Pistons history. But the Magic just flat out the better team on Sunday. Franz Wagner finding Jalen Suggs. There he is, up top. Yep. And the Magic win this one. Pistons 11th straight home playoff loss. That's the longest streak in NBA history. And the Pistons didn't just lose, they lost, and they never led in this one. Orlando, the first 8 seed since seeding began way back in 1984, to never trail in its playoff opener. The last 3 times the Magic won game 1 of a playoff series, however, they lost the series. All right, we're back with Perk. Not a lot of people saw this coming.
No.
The Pistons fight all year for home court, and then they cough it up in one game. What concerns you about this Detroit team right now?
Well, it was 2 things that happened tonight. Number one, they got punked, okay? And we don't see a team that hang their hat on for its physicality and on the defensive side get punked like they did tonight. Number 2, it's been a concern of mine all season long. Who's going to be that second option / Robin to Cade Cunningham? You got to feel some type of, way if Cade scored 39 and you lose this game at home. Is it going to be Jalen Duren? Is it going to be Tobias Harris? My concern with Jalen Duren is a lot of his action throughout the course of the regular season came from either pick and rolls or pin downs when he was slipping to the basket. It was never him being featured in isolation. And so when you think about what they had last year, Beasley, Dennis Schroeder, Tim Hardaway Jr., they had shooting. They had guys that could come in and give you 15 or 20 points along with Cade doing this thing. If Tobias Harris or Jalen Duren don't up their game offensively, then it's going to be a problem in this series for Detroit.
JB Bickerstaff and the Pistons, they're going to have a couple days to think about it. Game 2 is until Wednesday with the NBA schedule.
Film session.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
We got plenty more with Mr. Perkins. We're going to take a look at the Thunder and that dominant start to their postseason as well. That's later on SportsCenter.
Yeah, plus being said, who could knock them off that throne? That's scary.
Now, y'all know how I feel about the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yes.
That's my home away from home, but I got to go facts over feelings.
Okay.
And the facts is that the San Antonio Spurs dominated them in the regular season. And the facts is that the San Antonio Spurs has a generational talent in a guy by the name of Victor Wembanyama, who is dominating the game and going to win Defensive Player of the Year. But outside of that, he has the personnel. San Antonio don't get enough credit for the big wings and big guards that they have. They took a page out of OKC book, and they got a lot of two-way players, right? You think about Keldon Johnson, two-way player, up for 6th Man of the Year. De'Aaron Fox, 6'4", 6'5". Dylan Harper, he's a rookie, but he's 6'4", 6'5", coming in off the bench. They got a lot of two-way players to mix with Victor Wembanyama. They're going to pose a real problem to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They are the biggest threat. I actually got the Spurs winning the NBA championship.
Whoa. You got the Wild winning? He didn't go that far. PK didn't say the Wild going to win, though.
No, I got Montreal winning the championship.
Okay, all right,
but Minnesota, Kaprizov, Boldy, Quinn Hughes, Brock Faber, you go in net, the Gustafson. Listen to me. The Minnesota Wild are ready. They're poised for this moment. We saw their game yesterday. I really believe that it's going to be tough for Colorado to get through them if they beat Dallas.
Unlike the NBA, there's so many upsets in the postseason in hockey. I mean, that's what makes it so great.
Get a hot goalie, you're good.
President's Trophy teams don't win the Stanley Cup most years.
No, I was. Listen, in Nashville, we were President's Trophy team. We ended up making it to the second round. We lose to Winnipeg, who was the second place team in the league. We lost to them in 7 games. Now, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, but that's the NHL. You got to get through everyone. You know you're going to see it, but that's why I think it's the hardest trophy to win.
All right, there we go.
Appreciate it, guys.
And hoops. Thanks, fellas.
Back here in SportsCenter, and look who's back.
Yeah.
Perk is in the building still. Let's take you back to the NBA playoffs. 23rd meeting all time between the Celtics and the Sixers. That's the most in NBA history. Now, for Jason Tatum, his first playoff game since tearing that Achilles in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks last year.
I played 3 games last one now, dude. I didn't like that. Don't get used to that.
Oh, he is back, and he's back in full effect. That was Derek White with the steal. He finds Tatum in transition for the layup. He's feeling it because his squad is up 15-7. Second quarter now. The lead is already 19. Sam Hauser to Tatum on the fast break. And, Perk, his game and aura in full effect.
Yeah, it is. And look, I love it to see when he's getting out and running. But shout out to the Celtics for setting the tone today for real playoff type defense.
He had 21, 8, and 4 at the half. They were up big, and then in the second half, Jaylen Brown's like, yo, let me do my turn.
He too small. They was searching out Tyrese Maxey a lot this game. They're going to have to make some adjustments, and I'm talking about the 76ers.
16 of his game-high 26 in the third quarter. Tatum went for 25, 11, and 7. Celtics get the win, 123-91. So a 32-point win, yeah, you'll take that to start the postseason. It also set a Celtics record for their largest win in a playoff opener all time. Broke the record, went all the way back to 1967 when Bill Russell led the Celtics to a 30-point win over the Knicks. However, Boston did not win the title that year. All right, Perk, so look, it was Celtics from the jump all the way through. So if you put it all together, what impressed you the most at how they just dominated Philly?
Well, it was a lot of things. One, shout out to the Celtics for setting the tone on what playoff basketball looks like, and especially on the defensive end. I know Jaylen Brown did his thing late in the second half, but it was Jason Tatum for me.
Okay.
The growth, right? Coming off an injury, and we're looking at this play right here. Look at it in transition, setting up the hot ball screen with him and Vucevic, and watch him split the screen, get downhill, and take off outside the charge circle for a two-hand flush. Now, you talk about making guys around you better. He invites the double team, has the patience, right, to accept it, give Cater enough time to roll, put him in position with a nice, perfect pass to finish with a dunk. Here we are again, pushing the pace, tempo, surveying the floor, doing what he does best, getting yours and making guys around you better, hitting the guy that he trusts in Sam Hauser to knock down the tray ball. Again, when you're looking at the Celtics, the reason I picked them is because yes, they have the best duo in the NBA, but they have the most championship experience. Sure. We saw that tonight, the way that they played.
They look good. They do. So we broke the seal on the postseason this weekend. 8 game ones over the last couple days. Perk, give me your biggest takeaway from all that action.
I got to go with the Celtics and OKC and the way that they set the tone and showed you what championship level defense looked like on both ends of the floor. Both teams holding their opponents under 100 points. And when you think about it, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, SGA, they didn't have the best shooting nights, but they hung their hats on the defensive side, right? We saw Jaylen Brown getting stops. We saw SGA, he had 2 blocks in the game, and showing you what it takes, because at this point, people don't care about embarrassment. You want to see your stars and your superstars going for steals, going for loose 50-50 balls, getting blocks, meeting guys at the rim. That's what we saw tonight, set by both of these ball clubs.
Books say that's the most likely finals matchup, the Celtics and Thunder. We'll see. A lot of postseason still to go. By the way, 8 games, home team won 7 of them.
Oh.
The only road team to win, the Orlando
Pistons.
Magic.
Are they the 1 seed? I'm sorry, just checking. Just checking.
Ouch.
All right, now to the ice.